All right, looks like we're live here. Let me make sure my mic's working. Hold on. Yep. Okay. Let me see. Get all my stuff set up. We got it's Thursday now, November 4th. Actually, my son's birthday. Um. All right. Where we at? A lot of stuff to go over. I know it's early. Um. Looks like Peter's in here already. Good morning, Peter. Sly Dev, good morning. Let's have a great day. Um, all right. So, first thing I wanted to go over this morning, while we're waiting for people to come in, Big Five. I talked about it yesterday on the stream. Looked like a decent short squeeze play. They were issuing a dividend, and unfortunately, I didn't grab a piece. I was too busy, looking at GameStop and everything else. And like I said, BGFV was talking about it yesterday. And I mean, there still might be some room to run, but I was looking at, at least getting a part of this pop from 25 up to 35. And it looks like it made up a lot of that yesterday. So looking at Ortex data on it, and it's still, let me pull this up. BGFV. Still has 47% short interest. Ooh, pull this over. 47% short interest here. Utilization picking up still. Cost to borrow still low. So there might be some more room in here for this thing to move higher. I just frustrating, It's like I was looking at it the night before, talked about it on the stream yesterday. And as you can see, it started off yesterday around $25, and I just looking at too many other tickers, and I missed out on that one. But it's one I'm gonna keep on my watch list. I think it's probably has some potential to really run here moving forward. Like I said, with the short interest being what it is, I'll probably just be looking for technical indicators like something like this, and then play it a lot looser. Like yesterday, if I would have got a piece of this action, $28, and probably played it loose to let it ride, knowing that it's got some squeeze potential too. Looking at the option chain on it, not a lot of volume coming in this morning, only 76,000. IV still relatively low considering it's got 47% short interest and it just moved the way it did. So I wouldn't look at any November options, but one thing that was interesting I was checking out this morning is that sorry. It's only like a 117 IV across the chain, considering how much it moved already. And then on top of that, they just added in some new strikes. So 40 and 45 just came in on the November. On the December, it was already existing on January, goes up to 50. But considering how low the IV is here, I still may come out here and maybe look at some Aprils. It's just it's kind of expensive, maybe even dial it back to January, and kind of come in here at like the 45 range just in case it does. But I don't know. I may just play the technicals on this one. I feel like I missed the boat. I would have much rather got in yesterday. But anyways, so that was BGFV. I hope some of you guys ended up jumping on that yesterday. I missed out. Big Nate, what's up? Good morning. Mike Craft, good morning. Turts, Evax. Yeah, so that's actually what I was gonna go over next. Was kind of the big moves from yesterday. There was a couple. Josh Stewart, what's up? 6'8 Spindrift. Dennis D, what's going on? So, evacs. I'm not sure what the hell happened here. This thing was trading as low as $5.30 yesterday. Popped up to $5 or $50 within minutes. I mean, this is what, over an 8 minute span. Popped up to $50, and right now it is at about 21. The interesting thing though is I can't find any news regarding this. I mean, looks like back on the 26th of October, there was a filing of registration statement for proposed follow up on public offering. Um, you know, I can't find anything else unless you guys got anything else on your news tickers, but I don't know why this thing moved the way it did. It's getting 1.9 volume this morning, 1.9 million, and it's a $19 million float, or 19. God, I'm tired right now. 19 million float. So I mean, this thing could potentially. We have to zoom way out. I mean, you look at in the last year, the high was only 1030. Right now, it's looking to open up around 22. Going back even further, this is the last 3 years, so this is as far back as it goes. It's at all-time highs right now. There's a huge gap to the downside, but it also hit as high as 50 yesterday. So it could be interesting to see how this thing plays out. You know, I mean, it's trading up there where it's never been before, no matter where it opens at this point. I don't see it really falling back down to 10 before market opens in the next hour and a half, but who knows? But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with that one. Dan, what's going on? Risky Seeds, Skip. Let me see here. So we talked about evacs. I got a big list of stocks that I want to go over this morning. The other one that started moving yesterday was Pets. As you can see here, it dropped down as low as 95 cents. You know, in after hours yesterday, after closing the day at 237, and then ran up and hit 813. It's trading back at 4. Volume right now, it's already got 9 million in volume this morning. The hell is this drawn there? Must be from an old time. We were trading this a while back or something. So yeah, so right now Pets is looking to open up at somewhere around here. I mean, this again, it's going to have a gap to the downside. Yesterday it hit, looks like volume of 22 million, and like I said, it's already traded 9.8 million this morning. So Pets is another one that I think will be pretty interesting. And if I'm not mistaken, that is a squeeze type play too. Let me see if I can get some information on the float size of that one. 9 million float. Ortex is only showing 87,000 shares on loan, but ridiculous cost to borrow. Either way, gonna be interesting. That thing's moving right now. Looks like, I mean, the entire float's been traded in pre-market so far. So Pets is another one to keep your eyes on today. I would say Pets and evacs if you're just looking for some volatility to day trade a little bit. All right, so some of the other big news yesterday or stuff that happened, I see Joey G asking about right now, is Credit Suisse adjusted price target to $8 on CLOV. Um, Kind of weird, and exactly like you say, um, Credit Suisse is having a let me see, let me get CLOV pulled up here. Um, they're having their own healthcare conference, and CLOV is presenting at it next week, right after earnings. Like, why would they come out with this price target, before earnings? What's interesting though is I can't really find that news anywhere. So, I mean, I'm not trying to put on a tinfoil hat or anything like that, but it just seems extremely odd that they would come out with an $8 price target, which is lower than their previous price target of 9, a couple days before earnings are announced, and then it's not posted anywhere. Typically, whenever anyone like that big of a name issues a price target, you'll see it on your news feed. It didn't show up on my Schwab feed. It didn't show up on my Thinkorswim. I don't think it showed up on Fintel. Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't even know. The only place I saw it was on Twitter. And I think somebody posted it in, where else did I see it at? I saw it, I think, in the CLOV subreddit. Like, I've seen it a couple different places, but again, not on my latest headlines for Fintel. Like, it's just, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll see something pop out that says that was a mistake or something like that. Or I don't know. Patrick says SABS analysis put a price target of $23 on November 2nd. Don't know much about this stock or anything about it, I should say. Trading right at 10. Is that a SPAC? Yeah, I see right here. Bard starts SAB Biotherapeutics at outperform with the $23 price target. Looks like they just merged on the 25th with Big Cypress Acquisition, so it was a SPAC. Well, being that it's a SPAC, let's see what the short interest is on this too, because that's kind of been the thing with SPACs after they merge. But there's no options on it. I'd have to know what the BCYP. Let me see what I could see there. Looks like it's an 11 million float. Yeah, not a lot of short interest, but I mean, shit, $23 price target on an $8 stock. I mean, that represents almost 3 times upside. So, I don't know anything about this company at all, though. Pete, what's up? Good morning. PROG earnings on Wednesday. Now, thoughts? Yeah, you know what's crazy with PROG is everything I had heard was about the earnings call on Monday, the 8th, and it looks like yesterday they released their third quarter financial results. So they reported better than expected earnings yesterday. They also announced appointment of Jill Howe to its board of directors. That's the news that kind of came out yesterday, but they did, beat on earnings, it looks like. So the earnings call next week, maybe we'll get a little bit more with guidance and everything else. But really, for me, PROG's been more of a squeeze play than anything. Like, I'm not even too keen on the fundamentals. You know, I was expecting a little bit more of a pop yesterday. It seems like it keeps trying to get driven down to that max pain number, which is 250. I just checked this morning. It's still sitting at 250. If we look at the option chain on this thing, I mean, it's still loaded to the max. All the way. I really got to say, like, I mean, it's already, if we can get back above 350, the closer it gets to November 19th, you're going to see more and more delta hedging. Every day this delta is going to increase, but it's got to stay higher. I mean, they've been slowly pushing it down now. And it's at that point to where it's like, I know I said it yesterday, but if it gets to 250, I'm out. I'll just, um, maybe hold on to the options depending on where they're priced. But my shares, I got in, I'm at a 220 but cost basis. So 250, I'm just going to leave because that's going to show me that market makers are in control. Now I'm saying that, but at the same time, I still have a lot of confidence in this play. I think that it's today might be make or break. We got to see what happens, but I would expect to see some upward movement. And I think the way the option chain is set up, 350 is going to be a big strike to pass, and then $4 as well. After that, I think we probably blow the whole thing and go through 750 on a gamma squeeze. I mean, just looking at these numbers here, this is pretty crazy considering the size of the float. So, and even if you look out here in January, you have a bunch of options buried deep in the money right now. Um, to kind of support that move as it continues to go through. So, if I was entering this play now, IV's just so damn high that it's like I would probably go in with shares for sure. I think it might be kind of past, but then if you look out, like, I mean, I guess look at the cost difference, right? So you can come all the way out to April and get I'm sorry, I'm tripping. I was looking at Delta for a second. Yeah, it's so expensive that if I was gonna like go with options, I'd probably just go way further out, and that way they're still worth money, right? So like for instance, if you were to come all the way out to January or even out here to April, 161 days for $1.15 you're paying right now for that 350 call. But if it gets pushed down to 250, that's still going to be worth something. You know what I mean? So then you could still look to exit afterwards, and that's the only, if I was going to do options. But I just feel like at that point to pay $1.15 for that $115, why not just buy the shares for what are they going for right this second? $3.11. So that's my take on PROG, but I still think that this is probably the most squeeze potential right now because it's trading above max pain. It's got 37% short interest. Cost to borrow has been staying high. Utilization's 99. It's got everything there. More than half the float is on loan right now, and the options chain is just a beast. So I'm still looking for PROG to make a big move. Michael, what's up? Good morning. Andy Smith, good morning. Blatant manipulation in the media. Yeah. It's just crazy because that Credit Suisse price target like isn't anywhere. You can't, no matter, I mean, at least for me, I was looking around yesterday and I mean, I saw it all over Twitter. I tried doing a Google search. CLOV Credit Suisse price target. Let's see what pops up. I mean, considering that this was news that supposedly came out yesterday, the only place that I could see it at looks like Street Insider. And I mean, usually you would see this kind of everywhere. So, Yeah, I think we'll end up hearing something about that at some point. You know that it was an error, or who knows. Um, Michael says maybe they meant to say price target at 80. Yeah. Cuckoo Bird, what's up? Says the best mod crew in the business. Absolutely. Uh, Shrimply, good morning. All right, so we talked PROG. We talked about those two crazy kind of movers and after hours yesterday, Pets and Evacs. Big Five, man, I missed the boat on that one. We talked about that one yesterday. Looks like it already started. Who knows? It could go a lot higher. I mean, I was looking at it as a play to, kind of jump into, and I think I don't know. I got too busy yesterday looking at other stocks. One play that I think I'm gonna look into as a swing play right now is skills. I know we talked about it on here a while back. I think Ghost was talking about it. And man, I mean, this thing was down at 8 recently. It's looking to open down. It kind of missed on earnings a little bit. So it's going to open down here today. And I'm probably going to jump into this as a swing trade. And I'll tell you why. I mean, one, it's on a technical breakout. Highs of $46. It just got a price target upgrade recently of, where's it at? Citigroup reinstates skills at a buy with a $23 price target. That's almost double from where it's trading at right now. And then on top of that, I noticed that it came up on the Fintel short squeeze list this morning. So it's kind of like, I mean, you have analyst price targets that are double what it's trading at right now. And then you have decent short interest, 22%, with 100% utilization. So that's just like an added bonus, right? So to me, that means if all of a sudden it starts moving, we might see this thing really pop, where it might be trying to get to 20, but then because of the short interest and everything else, it gets on a little bit of a bigger run. So just an added bonus. Float size is 283 million. So the option chain right now isn't too significant from what I've seen. But what I'm going to be looking to do here is probably go in with some January calls at the $15 strike. Okay. But then also as a smaller play, but then also get out here to May. And I was looking at the 1750 strike. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, is entering into a swing trade on skills with the options. It's not 136% is high. That's why I'm going to kind of come out here where it's a little bit lower at 95%. But my intention isn't to hold these until May. My intention is to play the volatility, see this thing maybe run up to like 15, 16 bucks. And see this IV spike even higher, and cut the trade early or roll it out and up, like I talked about with the DraftKings trade a while back. So, yeah, skills is one that I'm going to be entering more than likely today once the market opens. Looks like right now RBC cuts price target on skills to $12 from 15. So getting some lower analyst ratings too. Let's see. Sir Lucky Charms, what's up? Kenneth Wallace, good morning. What's going on? All right. So that was skills. Next one I wanted to talk about was GameStop. Okay. I mean, we saw this thing run all the way up to 256 yesterday. Those call options that I had were like through the roof. I think like 700%. I didn't cut them at 255. I wish I would have. I ended up selling somewhere around, it was in the 240 range. I think it was during this dip. I got rid of the call options that I had, half of them, and kind of held it all the way down. Didn't time the bottom either. I think it was like right around, I thought it was going to reverse here, and I bought back into the call options there. So I'm kind of playing with house money right now. Um, you know, but at least on the option side. And the one thing I'll say, and I know I talked about this yesterday too, was about playing volatility with GameStop. With options, I was talking about like buying higher up on the chain with no intention of getting to that price. Just play the volatility. Like the ones that I traded yesterday were $300 calls for next week. I went with next week because Theta's just gonna kill anything that's expiring this week. I mean, you're gonna lose so much day by day. So I went with next Friday's $300 call with no intention of actually waiting for it to get to 300. So we saw this big run up yesterday. That's when you want to sell, when you get that spike, when the IV starts rising, and IV's rising up pretty significantly right now. It's still 115% for the entire chain, but for tomorrow it's 164, 130 for next week. So it's starting to rise up. And if you're holding call options when this thing really does move, an IV starts getting up to like 400, 500%, you're going to have an opportunity to really make some money. The other thing, this morning on GameStop, looks like there was some news. They secured a new $500 million credit facility. And I know they already had one for, I think, like 200 and something million that was set to expire in a couple years, maybe next year. But either way, I mean, on the fundamental side too, and I know I've preached about this before, like with GameStop, this isn't your brick and mortar, like a Blockbuster Video or something like that. I mean, they've been opening up shipping facilities. I know they opened one up in New Jersey and another one up in Reno. So one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. They've been hiring top executives from everywhere. They've been doing stuff with crypto, NFTs, technology, hiring people for that. This company's pivoting. They're debt free. I believe they have $2 billion in cash. Might be a little bit less, but there's just so many options for GameStop right now on a fundamental standpoint that, if they pivot successfully, you're going to be looking at a company that's trading, at $500-600 on fundamentals years from now. Low float, and gaming industry's huge. So if they can carve out as much as they can of that market cap by getting into other stuff, besides just game sales, I could see them, really being successful, especially with the team they have in place. So, but anyways, on the squeeze side with GME, the last couple times, and I guess this applies to AMC too, because they kind of move together. It seems like every time it crosses above this moving average, you have this nice run. We had a pop back here from 170 that went all the way up to 340, back here from 58 all the way up to 352. The more recent crossover wasn't nearly as good. It ran from 180 up to 220, 229-ish. But yesterday it hit as high as 250. So, I mean, and it's, in terms of technicals, it just broke out of this massive wedge that's been forming since January. So I'm expecting a little bit more movement out of it this go around. Um, you know, hopefully today we'll see some more of this play out. Volume increased significantly. Up to what was it at yesterday? 11.5 million. Um, and we haven't seen volume like that since back in August when it went on this nice little pop right here. So just really want to look for continuation in the volume this morning and see this thing keep moving. Right now, volume pre-market's only 25,000, so not a ton happening this morning so far. Josh says, do you think AMC is going to break out today? AMC, I mean, it's crazy because fundamentals don't play into this at all, but it's kind of in the same boat. I mean, it's been moving up, just crossed over this 50. Also kind of breaking out of a wedge. It looks like maybe it might just be barely ready to break out of it, where GameStop already did. Um, Same type of deal. Volume kind of slowly creeping up. Still not the amount of volume that you want to be seeing for a float the size of AMC's. You want to be seeing more volume, and we may see that this morning. We're already no shit, even that 600,000. So not a lot of volume there. But like I said, AMC is one of those ones that defies all fundamentals and everything. I mean, yesterday there was, I think, 6 reported insider sales. It's crazy because I have it on my watch list for companies on FinTel, along with GameStop and a bunch of other ones. But yesterday we saw I was getting all these emails about insider sales. And there was 6 of them that ended up selling. Let me see if I could pull this up on FinTel. Insider trades. It's not on there right now, but it was oh, here we go. Oh yeah. All right, so transactions. So I mean, this is all just reported. So on November 1st, which was, I'm just curious to see what the stock price was at. So this was after this bump right here when they ran up to 37 on Monday. We're looking at Chris Cox basically sold 16,000 shares. Right? Or is it 37? Oh, no, there we go. Converted probably some options into shares, but then sold 37,000 shares. Daniel Ellis looks like sold 59,000 shares. Kevin Connor, 57,000 shares. Elizabeth Frank, 79,000 shares. So all these insiders just dumped a shitload of shares. And this all happened on November 1st at the beginning of the month. And this all came out yesterday. Looks like even Adam Aaron. No, he didn't sell. But a lot of other insiders did. So typically that would have a negative impact on a stock. Having that news break last night, all those forms get filed, but I highly doubt it's going to make any difference with AMC. This is one of those stocks that it's like, I don't know how else to put it, the biggest longest running pump and dump ever. So I could see it breaking out. I mean, even like, AMC holders, or investors, long-term investors will tell you it's not about fundamentals. They're in it to create the squeeze. And so, I mean, shit, I would imagine this is going to inspire more buying, and this thing might end up running even higher today. So I have no idea. I know I have some call options that I grabbed yesterday. IV is, relatively high, 140%, but AMC is just so crazy. I figured I'll grab a couple and see what happens. And if it takes off, I want to be along for the ride. Joseph Scott, what's up? E Money, what's going on? Noir. Michael says everyone's been sleeping in. Yeah, me too. I've been, I know you. I've missed a couple of the days on here just because I was been sleeping in. Risky Sheets asking about Penn. Released earnings this morning. What do we got here? Beat estimates. Earnings per share down. 52 cents from 93 cents. But year over year sales increased. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Penn's one of the gambling plays that I've been watching. You know, but I'd like to see what happens here. It looks like it's going down right now. A lot of times, this stuff is built in though, right? So like, it's they say sell the news. But if the earnings were a little bad, it looks maybe this sell off that's been happening was due to that. And then you'll see this thing reverse. It's really hard to play earnings. Typically, I always want to like play the run up to earnings, or be priced in months before earnings and then sell beforehand. But it just seems like a lot of times the opposite of what you think. Like, looks like they didn't have numbers as great as expected. But this is the time of year where these gambling stocks really start to run. So this thing could still end up moving. Scotty, what's up? Good morning. Dan says selling for tax reasons. Man, I don't know. If you're talking about AMC, it seems like, how do you see how many shares that they have? I mean, they exercised 33,000 shares and then sold 37,000. If you look at, I'm just looking at like one of the names on here, but trying to see if I can figure out. I got to be honest, I don't look at this on Fintel that often, but if you come and look at like pull up one of these names, okay, so Daniel Ellis sold 59,000 shares, and then try to find that name over here. Yeah, I don't even see it. Oh, here we go. And it says it owns 0 shares now. So did they sell their entire? I don't know. I don't want to like say, oh yeah, they sold all the shares. I don't know. I'm not keen to. I usually don't follow AMC like this. So I just thought it was crazy that I saw that insider selling yesterday. Let's see here. Oh, Scotty's having some trouble. Some trouble at work. It looks like. Paul Jones, what's up? Good morning. Hoping for a good day with PROG. Hell yeah. Me too. I think it's due, and I think it has to. It's got to start moving in the other direction because it's starting to get closer and closer to max pain. And I really think that once it gets there, it's done. Um, Zeke for Bleak, what's up? Good morning. Day late, dollar short. All right, so covered a little GME, AMC, um, CLOV. Talked a little bit about that Credit Suisse thing, but other than that, I mean, what a crazy week so far already, right? We saw Monday, the stock ripped upwards, kind of what I expected. Like I've said it on Monday morning before we saw this movement that I feel like this week we're going to close above max pain, being that it's at 750, and I think you're going to see buying coming in as people want to get a piece of the action before the earnings come out on Monday morning because that's going to be in pre-market. But um, and then Tuesday we saw that it give everything back, minus a little bit, and then yesterday we rallied back and got it all back again. So now we're still kind of sitting where we ended on Monday. We did see as high as 797, 798 yesterday during the day. You know, who knows what's going to happen? Max pain is 750. And IV is now slowly creeping up. We're back at 116%. So, you know, I have no idea. I would still like to think that we're going to end up closing the week out above max pain and kind of that same theory that I had for Monday. But I'm sure anyone who's been following CLOV knows far too well that Thursdays and Fridays is like, them starting to slowly walk the stock back down to that max pain number of 750. In terms of, I didn't even look at, let me pull it up real quick. Filings. Looks like Delta Asset Management, 50 shares. They sold them. Parallel Advisors was a buy that got reported on Tuesday. 40,000 shares. Okay, it looks like Cambridge Investment Advisors increased their shares. Raymond James came in and bought 10,000. So we're again starting to see, buys. It looks like SG America's Securities got rid of their puts. Okay. So, again, that I know it shows up as red. That's not a sale. That was a put. And they looks like they got rid of all of them. So that's actually a bullish move right there. Again, increases here. Not a lot of shares though. That's a nice increase of 184%. So they bought quite a few. Pinnacle Wealth reported a buy of 109,000. So we're seeing the institutional buying coming in. If we look at, let me see here. It just seems like it's been more of the same, in terms of the manipulation and all that kind of stuff. So yesterday, 40% dark pool. It's actually, we're used to seeing way higher back here for, all the way up to like 40s and 50s, but 39%. And then the short volume yesterday died down a little bit. The day that we really got hammered in was Tuesday, and it was at 55%. So, like I said, just kind of more of the same with CLOV, but earnings are on Monday. So, I think we're really starting to get to that point, and I'd love to see us close above max pain this week. Bud says, do the insiders selling AMC mean that AMC bombed earnings, or could they just need money? I'd have to do more research. I mean, it could mean either one. But I don't want to sit here and waste a bunch of time looking through it right now, all the filings. But what I really like to know is like how much of their shares did they get rid of? Like I've seen insider selling with DraftKings before, and it hits the news and people are like, "Oh my God, insider selling," and they dump off. But then you go in and look, and it's like, all right, well, someone sold 4% of their stake in the company. That's not really, to me, that doesn't show that they're, um, bearish on the stock or there's anything to be worried about. It's just them taking a little bit of profits. But when you're looking at if someone's selling, a major portion of their position or all of their position, yeah, that's probably something to be concerned about. So I'd want to look into it a little bit more, but those were some pretty significant share amounts too. Like, let me see here. No, I had it in my email, so I'll just pull it up. But 37,000 shares, 59,000 shares, 57,000 shares. Like, I mean, these are 79,000 shares, 71,000. I mean, that's a pretty significant 50,000. So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't follow AMC enough. I've never been an investor in AMC. I've always just kind of treaded the momentum in it, and that's what I'm looking to do right now. I just thought that was crazy that popped up yesterday. Definitely that I would say is something that would be bearish or considered bearish usually. But AMC doesn't act like other stocks, so who knows? This thing could take off. Josh said, "I've learned so much from CLOV. Never again will I FOMO. Had a great cost of $22. Slowly managed to get it down to 11. Nah, that's amazing. Well, that's the other reason why, like, you know, I I know people, kind of shit on options all the time, and I don't want to sit up here like I'm always trying to promote options because options do have a lot of inherent risk. But, like right now, for instance, with AMC, you know, I want to jump in on AMC, this run on AMC that, or what could be a potential run, and it's like if you look at the share price right now, if I wanted to buy 100 shares, I'd be looking at $4,000, right? To get the price movement of 100 shares in case this thing really takes off, or we're looking at let's just say short term. So in the next 15 days, 2 weeks, I think it's going to move. I could come in here and spend a fraction of that and even just buy this call right here for, let's say, the $40 call right at the money for $485. So that's a tenth of what I would spend on the stock and get almost the same price action. And now my risk is fixed. The most I could lose is $485. And if all of a sudden this stock, has a rug pull and goes down to 20, in the blink of an eye, I'm only out $485 as opposed to, losing $2,000 or becoming a bag holder and then holding a stock forever, and having to average down and all that. And that's the way, with some of these squeeze plays that I'll play them, and it's because at the end of the day, it's fixed risk, but you got to go into it with that mindset. Like, you can't go in and say, okay, well, I was going to spend $4,000 on 100 shares. So now I'm going to go in and buy 10 of these call contracts, because then what happens? Then if it goes against you, you lose everything. And I think that's where a lot of people make that mistake, right? So you got to look at it, when you're playing options, if you have $4,000 to buy shares with, then buy yourself one contract. If you want to splurge, maybe buy yourself two. Okay. But now your risk is going to be closer to 1,000. because with shares you can always sell, right? And you could even sell in after hours. So you can go in and, be able to get out while it's dropping or whatever's happening. But, the worst thing you could do is say, okay, well, I have $4,000 that I could have bought 100 shares with. So now I'm going to go in here and, buy 10 of these contracts for 3,700 and really get rich, and then the stock goes against you and you lose it all. But I would much rather jump into a play that's already moving with options, and that way if it keeps running, I'll be able to be a part of the move. If it doesn't, I already know what I'm gonna lose. Let's see here. All right, Scotty, have a great day. So that was AMC, CLOV, GameStop. I mean, in terms of watch list today, I know I talked about, for anyone who's joining a little bit late, Pets had some crazy movement yesterday. 95 cents up to $8, now trading at $4. Volume so far this morning's 13 million on a 9 million float. Could be some crazy action in this stock today. And EVAX was another one, from $5 to $50, now trading at 18. Volume on that's 2.5 million right now, and I think the float size was somewhere around 19 million. So those are kind of like the two that are popping up. The other one, if you see it on your scanner, and I'm gonna stay away from this, but I'll just put it out there in case anyone sees it. So NP, did I spell that wrong? NPTN popped up on my scanner this morning. 50% increase or whatever this is, jumped up to 15.75. But there's a share buy out there at 16, so I don't expect too much movement. Gonna stay away from that one. Other than that, I'm just gonna be watching these squeeze plays. AGC is one that I'm continuing to be bullish on. I'm just gonna start accumulating shares, or I've been, and just kind of. I think this might play out like VIH. When it merged to BKKT, could happen in the next 2 to 3 months. But I think that this is going to be a nice squeeze candidate coming up. Louis, what's up? What's going on? Real quick, I want to check on these other two. We were talking yesterday about how memes were moving, and looks like BlackBerry got that nice early morning run like the rest of them. Settled back down. It's at 1183 right now. BBBY, Bed Bath and Beyond, was the big mover the day before that I think kind of kicked all this off. Had kind of a shit day yesterday, but then looks like it's rallying a little bit from where it closed at 1998 right now. So, other than that, shit, it looks like AMC's moving a little bit right now. GameStop too. So yeah, I'm just gonna, in terms of watch list, like I said, Pets and EVAX are two that I'll be watching today. But really, I'm gonna be looking at the memes. As long as the memes are continuing to go, that's what I'll be following. Crypto Cello, what's up? Yeah, I haven't talked to him. Crypto, I'm just looking at your comment. I haven't talked to him in months. Honestly, I have no idea what he's doing. Yeah, just he got kind of weird. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I don't know what happened. AVXL, what's going on? I'm glad you brought that up. Those are two plays that I'm saying two because BNGO is one that I'll bring up right now too. But AVXL, it looks like the entire like that whole sector has been moving. Like Sava's the big one that's usually leads the pack there. You could see Yesterday it jumped from 50 to 62. If we look at Sava on a daily chart, it started moving, and usually when Sava starts moving, you can see AVXL here also started doing the same thing. I'm really bullish on AVXL, and if you guys remember, back here, I want to say it got a price target of like 45, somewhere around there, and it looked like it was starting to move, and then it just slowly started consolidating, which is exactly what happened here, right? Big move, consolidation, big move. Now we got consolidation. I think it's gonna getting ready for its next run. And I'm looking for that price target. BTIG starts AVXL with a buy target of 35. So, I think AVXL is ready to move a little bit, and the other one, I mean, I've already been a long term AVXL holder, but the other one is BNGO that I finally got back above my price average. It did just hit a double bottom, which I think, where was it at? Al Trades just pointed it out to me the other day. Where was it at? Maybe there. But either way, BNGO technical breakout just broke above the 50. This is a stock that once it starts moving, it runs, and yeah, I mean, you could, again, I've been talking about this for a while. This last time it ran, it went from 40 cents all the way up to $15. And now we're at it looks like maybe this might be time for the next breakout. So this is a stock that I'll definitely be keeping an eye on. I think my cost average is somewhere around like 562. So BNGO and AVXL, I think are definitely looking to make a move here shortly, probably over the next month or so. All right, where we at? So I know I mentioned it at the beginning of the show this morning. Sorry, I got way behind in the chat. All right, yeah, right on, guys. I appreciate it. But this morning is my son's birthday, and I gotta go pick up donuts for him to take to school for his school party. So I am going to sign off here, probably right now. It's getting to be about 6, but I gotta go run some errands and get some stuff done. So I'm not gonna be able to take us all the way to the opening bell this morning. I appreciate everybody joining. Wish you guys luck today in the markets. So again, I'll be watching all the memes along with pets and evacs for some movement. And yeah, I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Hopefully Scotty could join us and close out the week strong and close it out strong with CLOV. And I'm really going to try to do an update video this weekend. So I know people have been asking me like I stopped doing the weekend videos, but it's just been getting crazy time wise with football season and everything else. So hopefully I'll get one released here before we get into earnings on Monday morning. But either way, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining me this morning.